Hello, word nerds. So this week we have geo as one of our roots and ject. For those of you that get really concerned about the cutting, I did not spend all my time trying to get into that corner and just like cut off. The weirdest one is geologist because you kind of have to like curve down and cut into the globe. The rest of them you pretty much just cut where the oh, actually, you know what? I need one more cut on mine. Right here. Let me cut like that. So that I kind of have an open top right there. And then I can put glue all on the part of the globe that's holding it up. So like if you were looking at a real globe, this would be like the metal pieces. That's what you're going to put the glue on. And you can put glue on this half of the globe. As far as ject, this will go directly down. And on this film, this is what this is. I don't know if all of you know that. You are just going to snip right through and just create these boxes, but keep this strip intact. Because this is what you're going to glue down onto your paper in a second. But I'm going to set those to the side. You can go ahead and get geo down. Right, so adding some glue. Oh, that was a lot more glue than I bargained for. And here, we need some more. And I'm just going to glue it down on the paper. Okay. So we've got all of our words right there. Okay, so the word geo, or the root geo, is short for earth, ground, or soil. Our third graders in particular have heard this word several times, and Moon Group actually had this as one of their spelling words last week, at least in the year 2022. So we're going to get through these and look at what they mean. So the first one that you definitely would know, most of you, is geography. But we're going to look at the word geoponics first because it's up on top. So geoponics, usually, okay, here's a way that you can kind of think of this a little. I hear, if you're at the grocery store with your family and you're walking through, some of you might have seen they have some lettuce that's inside a plastic container, and they call it hydroponic lettuce. And we know hydro means water, and ponic usually means growing. So geoponics is the art or science of agriculture, and agriculture is growing. So farmers. And if you still don't understand agriculture, make sure you put farmers. I'm going to put, because farmers are into geoponics. All right, geography. We know graph means to write, and geo means earth. So usually geography is the written down features of the natural earth. So that would be things like Earth's, let's go further and say Earth's regions. So usually that's things like features, Features and the population. Features and population. Written down features of the natural Earth's region. So the features that it has and population. Geology. Ology is usually study of, and geo means earth. So it's the study or science of Earth's rocks and soil. Study or science of Earth's rocks and soil. Geographic is just like geography. It just means relating to. The geography, aka the natural features, etc. Because it's also like population and industries that we have of Earth. And geologist, that is a person who studies geology. So a person who studies geology, the rocks and the soil. Alright, and so I'm setting up a blank page right here. And on this blank page, we're going to put our ject, which is a projector. And I find that it fits the best if I try to put this towards the center of my notebook, and then that is kind of tucked in the corner. So there is a way to fit both of them on there. So I'm going to glue down my projector. I'm going to glue it by the corner. Then we also have glue down the strip of the film. And then I'll put that towards the middle of the notebook. There we go. Sorry, I was looking for my glue top. I lost it for a second. And I'm sorry, my sunshine is coming through my window, so it's a little hard to see, but that's checked. Okay, so some of these are words that you use every day, and you probably definitely do not think of throwing as any of the options for any of these words. So the first word is eject. Eject. And normally I think of the word eject being used for, like in my childhood, we had VHS tapes that we would stick in a VCR. You can also eject DVDs, but even at this point, I don't even know how many of you have actually even used DVDs at this point, because you guys have a lot of streaming services probably at your houses. So the word eject means to push or force, aka throw, something or someone out. So like you can also think of like a pilot can eject a seat, like a military pilot can eject a seat. Players that have gotten too many fouls can be ejected from a game. there are lots of things that people can still be ejected from that don't have to do with old technology at this point. Okay, and this looks like the word project, but it's actually project is how we're going to pronounce it, project. So a projector also started from an outdated source of technology. A projector uses light to throw an image or video onto a surface. So using light to throw an image or video on a surface. So before we got the new fancy boards last year, we had projectors still. They're different than the ones that I grew up with in my childhood, but there was like a computer projector that would take the computer image and throw it onto the old school boards that we used to have. If you guys remember, the teachers would have to calibrate, and that was like the dot game where they would take their pen and they would trace all of the dots. And that was to make sure that what was being projected from the projector would properly sit on the screen. Now that we have the newer boards that are basically TVs, it works completely differently. But that is something that you guys might remember from last year. All right, we have the word reject. Reject. And so if you are rejecting something, you are refusing to believe, accept, or consider something. AKA you throw it out. So if Miss Jordan was like, hey guys, we could either go to recess or we could work on math sheets, you guys would reject, most of you would reject or throw out the idea that we should be working on math sheets during recess, right? All right, we have injection. So injection is the act of forcing, or aka throwing, liquid into something. I know you guys have heard the word vaccine a lot lately. A vaccine is a medicine, and that goes into the body, and it goes into the body through a shot. So it's an injection. The liquid medicine is forced into the body of a person or a dog or a cat. Sometimes dogs and cats have vaccines as well. You can inject like a jelly donut. So a jelly donut, if you look at the bottom of it or side of it, it usually has a hole where you can see the jelly or cream coming out. That's because they made the donut first and then they stuck the jelly inside like and poured all the liquid in. All right, and last but not least, we have interjection, which is a grammar word. It is a spoken word, phrase, or sound that expresses sudden or strong feeling. So, for instance, like it's just something that's thrown out there. Like at the beginning of the year when some of you guys were saying, sheesh. That's kind of like a modern day interjection, something that somebody puts out there really fast. Another example might be wow or neat. Those are some words that are interjections. All right, word nerds, thank you for your patience today. Have a good one.